What's up, Planeswalkers? It's your boy K-Dog. Got another fun video for you guys. This one looking at a Naya list that's built around Storm Herald. It's a 2 and a red for a 3/2 haste. When it enters the battlefield, return any number of aura cards from your graveyard to the battlefield attached to creatures you control. And then those auras are exiled at the end of turn, if not sooner. So basically we're trying to fill up our graveyard a bunch of auras, get in Storm Herald and with haste, and then bring all the enchantments back, auras specifically, attach them to the Storm Herald, maybe some other creatures we have out in play, and just kind of close out the game that way out of nowhere. So the way we're doing that is all the glitters. It's a nice 1 in white for a +1/+1 for each artifact and enchantment you control aura. And that combined with Setessan Training, where the creature gets +1/+0 in trample, and also has the enter the battlefield to draw a card ability as well. We get those on the Storm Herald with a few other enchantments, and it's going to be swinging in for a ton of trampling damage, and that should close out the game at that point. Otherwise, we're getting there and filling up our graveyard. We got Rix Maadi Reveler, 1 in red for a 2/2. And when it enters the battlefield, discard a card, then draw a card. It does have Spectacle, but we're not using black in this list, so we can just ignore the Spectacle side. It's just there to get down to 2/2 on turn 2, and then discards one of our auras that we can get back later with our Storm Herald. Another way we can do that is Throw of Possibility, instant speed, 1 in red, as initial cost to cast a spell. Discard a card and draw 2 cards. So we discard one of our auras, and then draw 2 more cards. And yeah, just kind of keep going. We already went over the Setessan Training. We also got 3 Banishing Lights as our utility removal spell. Another aura here is Impending Doom for 2 in a red. We get a enchant creature for +3/+3, and that creature attacks each combat if able. It does have a little bit of a downside here, where if the creature dies, Impending Doom deals 3 damage to that creature's controller. But just giving the +3/+3 is what we're really focusing on. That's why just the 2 of, because there's a little bit of a downside to it. Merchant of the Veil is another way to kind of discard, as it does have the adventure side for instant speed. We can discard a card and draw a card. And then we can play it down as a 2/3 for 3 later, but also has an activated ability where we can discard a card and draw a card. And of course we're in all 4 Storm Heralds. And also Setessan Champion just has a powerful card draw engine that we can kind of keep going, and also kind of a win condition in itself. So 1/3 for 2 and a green. Whenever enchantment enters the battlefield under our control, we put a +1/+1 counter on it and draw a card. So this counts any enchantment, not just auras. And then on our top end, running 3 Mantle of the Wolf for a 4 mana aura. We enchant creature, and that creature gets +4/+4. That's a really powerful ability when combined with all the glitters and Setessan Training, and that's going to help us kind of finish games in most cases. And if we do just play it onto one of our creatures naturally, if it does put into the battlefield, we get a couple of 2/2 wolf creature tokens out of it as well. So it has some nice staying power. So going over the mana base real quick, a couple of basic plains, 2 mountain, 2 forest, all 4 Stomping Grounds, a couple Temple of Abundance, all 4 Sacred Foundries, 2 Temple of Triumph, 4 Temple Garden, and 2 Temple of Plenty. So I don't have any 1-drops, so we're fine with playing these Scrylands. They're going to help us fix our following draws, and then we have these Shocklands that can come in as needed to kind of play out our creatures and whatnot. And going over the sideboard real quick, I'm going to run 3 God's Willing for a little bit of protection to keep our Storm Herald from dying when we're trying to do our tricks. Some removal here with Kenrith Transformation. As when it enters the battlefield, we draw a card, and enchanted creature lose all abilities and is a elk with pace, power, and toughness 3/3. I'm going to run 4 Cindervines as a way to kind of combat mid-rangey and control decks, as whenever an opponent casts a non-creature spell, Cindervines deals 1 damage to that player. And also has the nice ability here to pay 1, sacrifice it to destroy target artifact or enchantment, and deals 2 damage to that permanent's controller. So it kind of punishes you for playing non-creature spells, and also is enchantment and artifact removal. So that's a pretty powerful card right there. Definitely does not see enough play. Then we're on our 4th Banishing Light here for some additional utility removal. 3 Lovestruck Beasts for those aggressive matchups, as we can get a 1/1 down on turn 1, and then on turn 3 we get a nice 5/5, then kind of hold down the fort until we can get set up with our Herald of the Storm. And another thing we do is a couple of Shatter the Sky to kind of deal with those really creature-based matchups. We just kind of take it nice and slow, clear the board with the Shatter the Sky, and then get our Herald of the Storm down to punch through for a bunch of damage and close out the game. Alright, so this is probably a better tune for a best of 1 play, but we're going to try it out in best of 3. That's mostly where I've played it so far. So we'll see how the sideboard does. I think we'll be okay. All right. What we're looking for? Right there. All right. So Naya, Herald of the Storm. See, I like these decks that just kind of come out of nowhere and just get a ton of value and punch through for a bunch of damage. It's really unexpected. Alright, here we are up against Ocas Lesia. 120 card deck. If we had red, this would be perfect. But since we did not, I think we'll have to ship it. No creatures, but do have all the colors we need, so I think we just keep this and probably the Temple of Triumph we send away, and we just lead with Temple of Plenty. Just look for some creatures, maybe some removal. So here we got 3 lands. Yeah, Rix Maadi is perfect. I'll go ahead and shock that in and discard the Mantle of the Wolf. Black. Okay. So we gotta be careful of all their removal. A vampire. Okay. It's a little dangerous, but we do have trample, so we can get set up properly. We should be okay. Another land. Okay. I'd like to see like a Setessan Champion or something. Start getting some card draw going to make up for a mulligan. Do we block it and just get rid of it now? Yeah, I think that's fine. I have to deal with it eventually, otherwise we're just going to keep gaining life. Okay, another Rix Maadi Reveler. We'll get rid of all the glitters. And of course, we'll find another one. Okay, Sacred Foundry taps. The Rix Maadi is just kind of a filler. We can enchant it in certain situations, but I think right now we need to do a little bit defensive maybe. And mono black vampires. Okay, they are not going for the attack. And so we don't mind our Rix Maadi dying here because these enchantments go to the graveyard, and that's no problem at all because we'll get our Herald of the Storm here at some point. We have 4 of. If they have removal for our Rix Maadi, then that's not a problem. And if they do not have removal, then we'll just trample through and try to make life difficult for them that way. And then 2 off the Child of Night. They're a long ways from escaping. I think we just keep bumping the trample up. And we could Merchant, but we don't have a Herald of the Storm, so I think we just Impending Doom here and just load up. Opponent's saying good game, don't know what that's all about. Okay, trample through for a bunch. 5 them down to 11. They'll gain 2 from the Child of Night, possibly more if they have some kind of a Lord effect. Yep. Go back to 14. I need more lands. Setessan Champion is good, but it's probably a little bit late. Alright, so our opponent is threatening 9. we have to attack thanks to the Impending Doom. And yeah, we're just dead here. Alright. So, a little bit of a rough draw here, having a mulligan. We got his beat, so I'll just bone splinters. Okay, just showing off, sure. Okay, against mono black vampires. So God's Willing is probably going to be pretty effective here. Lovestruck Beast is pretty reasonable as well. Got the merchants for the Lovestruck Beast. And just try it that way. Slow down their attack a little bit. We have the 1/1s that can trade with the Vampire of the Dire Moon. We got our 5/5s that can block everything else. Oh, 1 land. Okay, so our draws here are pretty unfortunate in this matchup. That's just how it goes sometimes. Get our 1/1 down, see what they have. I don't have a turn 2 play anyway. Temple of Triumph, and hopefully find another land. Always unfortunate when you lose to these 120 whatever card decks. The arena shuffling algorithm seems to have a way of fixing their draws, which makes it a little frustrating. Interest takes our God's Willing. And there's our Storm Herald, but we're not anywhere close to getting set up, so I think we just want lands and enchantments for the Setessan Champion. And just hope we draw into another one here a little bit later down the line. Okay, looks like we have a little bit of a newer player on our hands. Necrotic Wound. We don't have any creatures in your graveyard, so it doesn't get -X is 0. Finally got our 3rd land. I'm fine with trading here, and they will, yep. Not sure why. Their creature is better than ours. Kind of need more lands, but we also need more enchantments as well. We'll probably just draw into them anyways, so we're just going to Setessan Champion next turn anyway. Probably Banishing Light following turn. If they don't have removal for this, we can get some card advantage going. Alright, okay. Take 3. Look out there, Lord. Draw a card. We'll attack first, and then we'll use the Lovestruck Beast Adventure to make a 1/1. They attack in. I'm fine with trading. These guys are just here to block anyways. It's the Setessan Champion and Herald of the Storm that we're really worried about. And 1 card in hand. They want to attack in, sure. Making this trade all day. There we go. Okay. So I have the speed removal, then Setessan Training, draw a couple cards. Yeah, we are in great shape here. We got our Storm Herald down as well, so if they have removal, we'll just get back the Setessan Training, and nothing. Let's keep drawing cards. second one down. We'll save the land for the throw of possibility, I think. Unless we draw into an aura, although the way these Setessan champions are here, oh, that's pretty sweet. We'll go and play a Lovestruck Beast, and we have the throw of possibility at end step. See if they have a Ritual of Soot or something. I don't think these decks usually do, but 120 cards, hard to say what's in there. Villas, sure. Card. The lands. We'll Banishing Light the Villas next turn. Draw a million cards. A little bit. Alright, nice to get some vindication there. Still haven't seen the Storm Herald go off, but I see the potential is there. And we don't always need it to win. Alright, on to game 3. So now we know they have tricks like Villas in there. I don't think that really changes much. I don't think their deck is consistent enough to worry about Shatter the Sky, so I think we'll be okay with holding off on that. Banishing Light seem like they are sufficient. I'm fine with trading creatures. The ideal win con here is just to get the Storm Herald down and just get that swing out of nowhere. So to make sure we got our Rix Maadi down, or Temple of Triumph. So by game 1 here with the... I think we'll keep that. So game 1 with our Rix Maadi turn 2 and their turn 1 Vampire of the Dying Moon. 1 land. Okay, that's good for us. Discard the Mantle of the Wolf. Another Lovestruck Beast. I'm gonna finally just playing one of these guys down as a 5/5 for 3. And next turn we can make a 1/1 and a 5/5. Save the Banishing Light. There isn't cast it just yet. Okay, no Death Touch, only 4 power on board, so you're welcome to attack, or block, I mean. Just want to try to wear them down as much as possible. If they want to chump, it's fine with me. Keep the resources to a bare minimum, so when they find their Lord, the Regal Bloodlord or whatever it is, it gives their vampires +1/+1, then a few creatures out. Hey, look at our Lovestruck Beast, they probably have a murder or something. Yeah. I think we just take it. Mantle of the Wolf. Crash in for a bunch of damage. We'll hold up God's Willing. We're only getting 2 back with Child of Night, but we're representing a ton of power on board. And if we can draw into something like a Setessan Training and all that glitters, then we'll be in great shape. We do need to deal with this Death Touch, so I think it's fair to get rid of this. They do get off to a pretty slow start. 3 for 10, down to 6. Now they have to be careful about attacking back. So we'll hold up the Thrill and God's Willing here. Okay. We do have the God's Wooing that can give protection from black. And that's their entire deck, so they won't be able to do anything about it. We'll discard a land. I don't think they have a removal spell. Yeah, we're in good shape here. I like to say good game, so we'll say good game. Alright guys, taking down mono black vampires. So we didn't get to see the Storm Herald go off, but you can see just the power of Setessan Champion with some nice auras and you know, some pretty good support. Yeah, there's definitely different ways you can build this, but I think Naya is probably the funnest way to go. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I hope to see you guys in the next one. Take care.